It's training camp season, and today we're taking another look at the Chargers and getting another look at Omarion Hampton. We're going to watch him work through some drills and catch some balls, everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at practice. Training camp's getting fired up. We got more teams executing training camp by the minute. We're going to be looking at your rookies, your position battles, and of course those guys you're getting ready to draft in fantasy football. You need to know what's happening on the field so you can place those bets in your draft. Click that button. Be on the know of what your players are doing behind the scenes at practice. It's all going to be here for free. But today we're looking at Omarion Hampton. We're looking at the Chargers. 5.5 minutes of clips here. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball like we always do, like we do every single day. Here we go. So it used to be I would cut out the clips of the other running backs, the other players in the drills, and we just see the focal player. However, I stopped doing that because if you're a fan of the Chargers, you may want to see your other running backs, and cutting up a Kamani Vidal video, it's kind of hard to do considering everybody's focused on Omarion Hampton. And then two, you'll notice the differences between a top-level prospect like Omarion Hampton and the other running backs in the league. Top-level prospects versus just prospects. I don't want to be negative to them because they're all high-end athletes at the end of the day. There's just levels to this game. But you watch his feet. He's so smooth. He's so smooth for his size. Like, it pops out on tape from college, but it's really hitting me now. Now, just watch the difference between him and these other running backs. Just watch the difference. As we work through these drills, you just watch the difference here. You just watch every step. Watch it. Now we got Hampton right here. You watch the difference as he works through these bags here. As he works through this, you watch the difference. Watch the feet. Watch how he moves. Boom. One thing, he hit that bag, but on the movement skills, lighter, and it feels like, and it looks like, I'm pretty sure it is, a lot more effortless compared to the other running backs. A lot more effortless. Especially on the turns, especially moving laterally. He moves laterally so well, and he covers a lot of ground. Here's him right there in the outlet. Catching the ball. He's good in the passing game. He's good at all phases. And the more I think about Harbaugh, the more I think about Hampton. Watch his feet. Boom. So good moving laterally. So good. The more I think about Harbaugh, the more I think about Hampton, the more I think about Ladd McConkey, the more I think about what I've said about Michigan prospects when we cover high school recruiting in January, February, and March, the more everything's just starting to make sense here. Because Hampton's a lunch pail player. Hampton's a guy that's good at all phases. Like, he's trusted everywhere. Pass pro, receiving game, running it up the gut. He can run past you, around you, and through you. He can do it all. And when I talk about high school recruiting for Michigan, that is what I talk about, is players that can execute in multiple phases, not just be really good at one. And if you look at all my Michigan videos from back in January, February, March, talking about those deeper prospects, you'll see me say that in a lot of videos, and it trends that way. And I see that trend starting to come alive here with the Chargers. And to throw that out there, because that just went through my head. I was not planning to talk about this in this video. It just came alive in this moment. You're looking at Hampton here. His feet's so good. And you really look at all the running backs past Ashton Jeanty in the draft because they weren't in the position to draft him. He's very reliable and stout. Like, he's so reliable. Yes, it's a very deep running back class. You could have took that discount. But really, if you think about Harbaugh, what he wants, and then that's going to ooze through the rest of the coaching staff on this team, dependability. Now, go back to look at Ladd McConkey. What's the one thing that was stressed about him during the Senior Bowl, during that time? when he was really starting to gain stock and steam among the draft community. It's his ability to run nuanced routes, ability to create separation, and just how technical he is. So when you're a technical wide receiver like that, meaning that you're pretty much good at all phases and you're reliable, kind of like a lunch pail player. So if you really think about that and how this team is building and think about the methodology of that, you're going to get some Michigan tendencies, which is obvious, but you got to know those tendencies. I kind of see that through the recruiting trails when I'm watching Michigan. It's still like that. Michigan, Notre Dame's very similar to Michigan when it comes to recruiting. Like they recruit very similar, and you'll notice the patterns if you study recruiting. Like in the off season, I do videos on top 300 players. Like all of the top 300 players get their own videos. That's a lot of videos, but within those first few months of the year, there's nothing else really covered in football. So you might as well learn recruiting in the portal. Hampton fits that mold for this team. So what does that mean, though? That means that Harbaugh handpicked his guy. Harbaugh's going to use his guy. And Harbaugh's going to make sure he's set up to succeed. So for me, not only just seeing the talent from the tape, the metrics, the numbers, the draft capital, I'm also seeing him in line with the coaching staff that not just picked him because he's good, but picked him when there's other running backs that are good at cheaper costs and getting him because they fits their scheme, not just how he fits, but how he fits mentally, strategic-wise, how you like to build an arsenal on your depth chart, which means over time or throughout the process, like he's going to get his opportunity. Like that's going to happen. Now, if you want to go deeper, look at Najee Harris. Najee Harris isn't really a flashy player. Like he's a good player. He's a good stout running back. A lunch pail running back per se. Good vision. Catch ball in the backfield. Can take a lot of touches. Can take a lot of wear and tear. Hasn't had too many injuries on his career. Dependability is huge on this team. Think about Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins last year. Dependability. Being able to execute in multiple phases. I think Hampton's going to have a huge career here with the Chargers. I think he's going to be a top running back. Like, top running backs fluster up and down throughout the rankings in the top 5 or so throughout their career. He's going to be a top running back. We see it athletically. We see it on the tape. We see it with the metrics. He's been looking very good. His feet's very fluid for his size as he kicked the bag, but everything else moving laterally, it's effortless. It's effortless. But Omarion Hampton, like all the pieces are coming together to me. Like it's galaxy braining in. Like Harbaugh is in line of building a little dynasty here. And I think people are understating it, which I'm not really listening to anybody. That could be echoed out by the media anyways. I'm not really paying attention to. I'm doing so many videos here. But Harbaugh's doing a good job putting this staff together, building this depth chart. He's made some picks, and I might be biased because they're my picks, and we're thinking in lockstep, me and the Chargers, because I like Gaston, I like Lambert Smith, I like Trey Harris. I thought he was good for the value. I like this running back class. I understand their thought process with spending a first-round pick on him. I understand it through their eyes. I understand some things. I understand like they're still building. They're still adding on. Maybe some more to the offensive line. Maybe more to the interior. Maybe more here. You can't do it all at once. That's the one thing about it. You can continue to build. But for Herbert, this is great. You got your long-term running back. You got a rounded out depth chart at wide receiver. You got some good plays there at tight end that could materialize. And things are coming along. I look for the AFC West to get very competitive very fast. And I think it's going to come out of nowhere to some people who aren't really paying attention to all the moves throughout the offseason, paying attention to all the draft picks, coaching staff changes. I think that's going to come out of nowhere. And I think it's going to really affect that Chiefs dynasty because they're going to have to be in more dogfights. And that's going to be great for the Chargers. Good, bad, and ugly because you're going to have a better team. You're going to have a better team. Your team's getting better. You're going to have a little dynasty here. And you got the Broncos who are looking like they're getting competitive. You got the Raiders, very ambiguous right now with the changes. You kind of going to give them a couple more years, but it looks like they got some pieces in place coming along. But it looks like you're going to have to give them some time, but you're going to have some dogfights in this division. And that's going to affect the Chiefs a little bit. They're still going to be good, but you got the Chargers coming up. You're not going to have some good dogfights with them. Your Broncos defense with what they're adding. I think the AFC West is going to be fun. I think the Chargers are going to be built to compete. They're going to be built to compete. And they're going to keep adding to this team. They're going to keep getting better. And those building blocks are coming in place. I look for Herbert to look good. I look for him to look good. I think especially if one of your young wide receivers hit. One of those young wide receivers hit or play a little bit above expectations for a young wide receiver, Harris, Lambert Smith, whoever else that's coming to mind. One of those guys gets you a little bit more than expectations. Ladd McConkey's going to end up being one of the best wide receivers in the league. Hampton's going to be one of the better running backs in the league. Maybe you get one of those young players that just exceeds expectations, even if it's a little bit. And you have potential to have a good rounded out depth chart here, and it's building pretty good. It's building pretty good. And the fact is, like, if you're picking up somebody in the draft, it looks like that's a one-trick pony. Harbaugh's not spending heavy draft capital on him. He's going to be looking for guys that are well-rounded. That's in the culture of Michigan. That's looks like, from a small snapshot, looks like what we're getting here. Just connecting the dots, looking at the patterns of what's being built here. You look at Omarion Hampton, where's he bad at? He's stout everywhere. That's the thing about his game. And if I value that, even in a deep running back class, I'm going to pay up for that. That's the thing about this. I look for him to get touches. I look for him to get workload. I look for him to be good in the NFL. I look for this team to really build and take some steps forward. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.